Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? It is 12:54 p.m. Mountain Time on Monday, December 6th, and Bitcoin has tanked over this week. And ever since Friday evening, $10,000 drop in 1 hour candle, and it has been brutal. A little bit of a recovery. We're at 49,000 right now from 42,000, so it seems like a lot, but we were at like 53, 54, and I was buying support there. Got stopped out all my positions. I wasn't expecting anything like that. I don't think anybody was, and I'm at the point where I don't know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's nothing wrong with saying I don't know, playing it cautious, buying with tight stops, things like that. There's a lot of indecision in the market, so just playing it like it is. I'm not being decisive in an indecisive market. Anyways, gonna go over that. Gonna go over Bitcoin a lot and Superfarm. Yeah, big gain in Superfarm. Gonna talk about my entries and exits and that, and what they have going on and why the big rise. And I'm going to talk about gaming. Again, if you know me, you know I'm big in gaming and metaverse. And I think that, this whole weekend has proven that gaming is not bear-proof, as others have suggested. Nothing's bear-proof, let me put it to you that way. And if you play that way, you're probably going to get wrecked. Anyways, if you like that, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it greatly. Moving closer to my goal of 1,000 subscribers lets me know and validates me that the content that I put out is useful to people. Also remember that I am not a financial advisor. Everything in this video is for information and educational purposes only. Do your own research. I am just a trader, but I do have my opinions, and I want to share those with you. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we are, $49,000 Bitcoin, right? 49,201, showing a little bit more recovery. So why the drop? Sometimes it doesn't need a huge reason. The S&P and Dow Jones have been dropping significantly through, till futures open Sunday evening. So Bitcoin has proven to follow the market and not be a contrarian indicator of the market. Anyways, leverage. Always want to be paying attention to leverage. You could track this as simple as going on to KuCoin and seeing what the borrow rates are, right? So they were like over 0.12% a day, and now they're at 0.013% a day, and they were 0.12 back here in early November. And I talked about this before, is that leverage, it just makes it easy for big money to short and shake everybody out and make money on the short side, and then you reopen positions on the long side or open new positions on the long side. What happens is that, people trade at 10 times leverage, and a 10% drop liquidates you. So when it liquidates, it forces an automatic sell on the bid, market order, straight down into it. So there was like $2.7 billion in liquidations in a 24-hour period recently on Friday into Saturday. So huge money transfer there. So when it gets up here, something to pay attention to. This is coinglass.com, which is, a Bybit website. They rebranded it. Anyways, this is where I follow all my futures and leverage. So you can see how high it was, all-time high, like crazy outstanding interest. And you can see we've dropped not quite 50% in leverage. So we've balanced out a little bit. And there's going to be leverage in the market, especially with Bitcoin's price this high. That's part of what keeps it high or moves it up. But you get more of a, what is Bitcoin actually worth? Like who's actually holding it, like outside of leverage, when the leverage gets flushed out. So leverage gets flushed out, not only the liquidations, but traders who are smart use stop losses, and those stop losses get triggered, and those go right to the bid as well. So a combination of those two things flushes things out. So you knew there was a lot of like stop losses and liquidations right below 53K, as you saw. We dropped significantly, but you can see that the leverage is shaken out. We're at a reasonable level, not a low level, but we're still in a bull market as of right now. Bitcoin is looking bearish, but you could also go to the liquidations on coinglass.com. You could see wrecked is how many people got liquidated. So 12 hours, it was like, I want to say it was like $1 billion in like an hour at one point. It was at least 900 million in 1 hour. So always go here. I'll tell you like the different coins that were liquidated. Gala Games. I don't know why people would trade leverage when it's up 800%. That's just stupid. You got to chalk that up as a miss. Sorry, you can't force things. But which exchanges are liquidated on, whether they were long or short liquidation. So you can see they get liquidated both ways. Shorts in the last 24 hours have been liquidated 31 million. Not a huge amount, actually. That's just on FTX. But anyways, good thing to use. I'm going to close out of that and going to move on. I want to get into the news and then get into charts. ETH 2.0. This is a big deal for Ethereum because, as you know, Ethereum is essentially unusable right now because of Ethereum gas fees. So what gets used now is like layer 2s and ZK rollups, which are a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. So the transactions happen off of Ethereum. It's a second layer. That's all I could really say about that without doing a deep dive into what, or like a programming course into what like ZK rollups are in layer 2s. They're getting more and more detailed, and the technology is getting more advanced with this. There's even like snarkware or ZK snarks, and those are coming out, which will be even better. And the more people that like even Immutable X, which is a ZK rollup layer 2, gas fees are non-existent. Like fees are non-existent. The more people that use it, the better it'll be for everybody. Whereas like Ethereum right now, the more people that use it, the more the mempool gets congested, and the higher the fees are to attract the miners to process your transaction or confirm your transaction. So Vitalik Buterin said block production would remain centralized even with the implementation of so-called rollups, which are layer 2 solutions that execute transactions outside of the main Ethereum chain. No single rollup succeeds at holding anywhere close to the majority of Ethereum activity. Obviously, Ethereum is the second biggest cryptocurrency in the world. Instead, they all top out at a few hundred transactions per second. He said, while it may appear that rollups could contribute to distributed block production, decentralization may not last because of the possibility of cross-domain maximal extractable revenue, or MEV. Yeah, be confused about it. That's okay. As the name implies, MEV refers to the maximum amount of value that can be earned from block production in excess of standard block rewards and gas fees. So Ethereum 2.0 is something to pay attention to, as well as, Ethereum 2.0 is something to pay attention to, as well as ZK rollups, and then any further technology beyond there. Pay attention to Starkware. Hasn't come out yet. You had the hard fork, and they're burning more Ethereum. So pay attention to those two things. Definitely worth it. Next, Binance Smart Chain. So I'm going to get into gaming a little bit now. I just want to touch briefly on that just because I'm so big into gaming, and Superfarm is one that I'm really big on. It's having an incredible day today. Played it pretty well. Binance Smart Chain and Animoca Brands formed $200 million fund for GameFi projects. Did want to open the Binance, the BNB coin, because it's been doing really well, actually, even in the midst of this drop. It dropped as well, but still, it is below the 50, but it came back up pretty close to all-time highs. Not a good sign that it didn't reach it. But anyways, Binance, a lot of money into Binance, going into Binance, investors as well. They're just constantly doing new things. I think that one just continues to grow, and based on what the entire market does, will continue to go up. Binance Smart Chain and Animoca Brands are launching a $200 million investment program to incubate early cryptocurrency-focused gaming projects building on Binance Smart Chain. So pretty big deal because gaming is obviously become a very big part of crypto. Metaverse, also a very big part of crypto, and they're getting in on the game. So they're going to get on startups and funding with startups. With this co-investment, projects building on Binance Smart Chain will get the opportunity to gain insights and expertise from leading gaming giants such as Animoca Brands, along with collaboration opportunities with blockchain experts from the BSC community, BSC Investment Director Gwendolyn Regina said. So big deal. So how's gaming doing? Let's look into Metaverse first. 7 days. Look at all that red. 25, 24, 25. Now, that's not saying that these are bad or it's over. It's just like they went on huge runs. I mean, look at UFO gaming. Look at what it did over the last month. Like it went from, what is that? 22.34 all the way up to 54.86, 150% gain in like a matter of a few days. And there's bigger ones too. Like, what was a big gainer? Let's go to Gala Games. Gala Games. That would be under gaming. So let me just go to CoinGecko. This is also a good way to show you how to find. Actually, let's just look up Gala. You can go to different categories. There's gaming and there's metaverse. But Gala Games, look what this did in 30 days. From 8 to 9 cents to over 80 cents, all-time high, 82 cents. So huge. So still not bad. Like even at the bottom of this pullback, right? Still up 300%. Crazy. So they are huge. Axie Infinity down 24% in 7 days. There are random stuff that's up, like RMRK is up 34%, but down 10% today. Insure DeFi, one that I don't know really about, 14% up 5% today. Superfarm is not even on here. So that's how new or how early it is for Superfarm. Is they've announced the name of their game. They have not come out with it yet, but they're not even in Metaverse, right? Which they should be in Metaverse because they will have their Superverse with the plethora of games, and they will be quality is what I'm guessing. Anyways, speaking of Superfarm, big day today. Up 20%, and it's just one of those days for me that I almost bought the bottom, like exactly $1.05. So what was I watching is, I did, say that I was buying 160 in Stock Market Mentor. I did, and I got stopped out right below the 50, right at about 139. That was my stop loss. So what I liked about it was this ascending triangle, and it failed. It's buying it here to me was a low risk, high reward opportunity in a high probability trade. Doesn't always work out, especially when Bitcoin tanks. It's not going to work out. So my next level watching with that was around $1, and the reason was because the monthly chart, I always said in the past, I haven't talked about this much lately, but the 7-day simple moving average, the 25-day simple moving average, and the 99-day simple moving average, extremely important to watch. Why? Because they are the default on Binance, which is the second largest exchange in the world behind Coinbase. So I always like to zoom out to weekly and monthly charts, and if you look, the 7-month simple moving average was like right around $1. Did kind of tick right off of this. Also said that I'm adding, in Stock Market Mentor, and it just worked out perfect. It just all of a sudden started running, and I'm like, wow, what luck, and yeah, good buy zone for me there. I use moving averages a lot. Some people don't. As you can see, bounced right off of it. So they do work. It is the simplest thing to follow. I wouldn't necessarily make my entire strategy off of it, but they are things to watch, especially like to determine bull and bear markets. Anyways, Superfarm up really big today. I'd like to see it close over the 50-day moving average. It lists on Coinbase for trading tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So for my time, that would be 10 a.m. As long as liquidity conditions are met, which they should. So what generally happens with Coinbase listings is that right now, I'm not sure because I have it on a different exchange, people will transfer over their super or whatever coin lists over there. You could also see there was like 5 other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. So 6 other coins listed on Coinbase. Most excitement, I looked at all the gains. It's like 5 to 10% for all the other ones. What generally happens is like they'll have the wallet. You'll be able to move it over there to Coinbase or Coinbase Pro before it starts trading. Then it starts trading on Coinbase Pro, right? What's the number one exchange in the world? Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. Why? I don't know. The fees are ridiculous. It makes no sense to me. It's one of the worst, if not the worst, aside from like using Ethereum on Uniswap. So what happens is all the people, right, who use Coinbase and Coinbase alone, they're ready to buy the new coins, and they buy it up. The price goes higher than it does on any other exchange, and then the people that are holding that moved it into the wallet sell, right? And it happens, I would say 8 to 9 times out of 10. So if you see a huge spike on Superfarm, I would sell it. I would not sit there and sit through watching it go up and then coming all the way back down, because odds are that it will do that. Is it a guarantee? No, but I'll be watching for that, and that's how I'll be trading it. I won't be trading it on Coinbase just in case things get clogged up. It should increase the price on other exchanges as well, just not as much as it does on Coinbase. So I'm also trading this in my margin account on a very, very low amount of margin. So I can't move it over there. But that's just how it works. Anyways, Superfarm, big day. They got more things coming out, but I do expect to see a rise and then a fall in price, especially because the market does look bearish. It does. It's not super great. Do we have a recovery? Yes. I love to see these bottom wicks. Could we fall down further? Yes. Could we see a recovery back up to here and still fall further? Yes, we can. A lot of indecision, like they're in no man's land. If it were my guess, I'd probably say lower, but I'm just guessing at that point just because there's bearish sentiment. However, the one positive on why I still look at spots to buy is the fear and greed index on Bitcoin is very, very low. So, you know, the saying is, let's see, you can find this on Twitter. The saying is like, buy the fear, sell the greed. So there's a fear and greed index, extremely fearful right now, 16. That's the lowest I've seen it in a long, long time. Before it dropped from 69,000, it was at like 78, which is extremely high, extreme greed. So it does play a part. Doesn't mean, I mean, in a bear market, can't buy off a low RSI. Things can remain oversold for a very long time and not bounce or anything. There's no rule that says it has to in a bear market. So if we are entering a bear market, then this doesn't mean a whole lot. If we're continuing the bear market, then we're going to see some of the biggest bounces and runs probably that we've ever seen. So it's a coin flip. It's a gamble. But, you know, I'm back to move my stop losses up into profit so I don't turn a win into a loss. I would like to see it get back into this channel. However, like I do like the horizontal support through in a higher low. One thing I use in longer term speculation or longer term analysis is the Ichimoku cloud, which is a combination of indicators. And when we drop out of this green cloud, generally indicates that it's, you know, not good bear. Last time more bearish. Last time we did this was in May, right, when we went into that like 3 month or so bear market. And yeah, you could have a 3 month bear market. You could have a 1 week bear market. That's my take on things in bear markets and bull markets. However, that's what we're looking at. Been stalled out around the 48 to 49.6 range. Looks like that would be really cool to put in a bullish engulfing hammer candle here. An outside day. That would be, you know, good. I would expect it to come back and test this channel. Anyways, so for me, it's indecision, not rushing to decisions. Over the last month or so, you see me taking money out of positions like Cardano, Coty, just because when the hype is over, I don't like to stay in things until there's like some other reason to be in them with them to progress. Few other ones, got stopped out of every single trade I mentioned in the video on Friday. So took some losses there, minimize them as much as I could. There is I do have my core holdings down pretty good on those. I actually shed some Luna because it's gone on an extreme run and was acting really strong into the drop, and still it recovered and made a new all-time high. I see it stalling out though. You can see where we broke out of this channel right here and got rejected back below. I could see it range bound here. It doesn't necessarily have to come down. I'm going to get rid of this Ichimoku cloud. But you know, as you could see, like pretty toppy there. High buy volume into high sell volume, plus these these top wicks here. Hopefully we hold this channel or we fall back down into here and then we head back down into the 50s. But top of this channel right here is around 85. Now it's way high. So, I could have seen it going up to there, and we did reach, on the extreme end. I mentioned that before. It did reach 78. I've been trimming in the mid 60s. I haven't touched it since $10, and that's great. So I'm happy. I have enough where if it keeps running, I don't feel like I'm missing out. And if it drops, then I am covered. I will never walk away with a loss on this unless I decide and make some huge mistake in the future, which I've done before. Anyways, that's where we're at. Altcoin market caps, same thing. Total 2, total 3, same thing. Big drops above their respective 200-day moving averages. Bitcoin dominance is kind of staying still. That's kind of nice to see for altcoins. But yeah, if we go to Bitcoin, we are, I don't know why the 50-day moving averages have disappeared on that, so I'm just going to go to a different chart. But on Bitcoin, we have, get to it first. I deleted a lot of the clutter on there too, so hopefully you appreciate that. So we are still above the 200-day moving average. That is a really good sign. Generally for me, I try to keep everything simple. Bear market, 50-day crosses below the 200. Bull market, 50 crosses above the 200. So that's what I look at and how I determine that. Ethereum looking a little stronger, 4,200 still, below the 50-day moving average and well above the 200-day moving average. So a lot of good things still, I'd say if we break that 42,000 again, we're headed to 36,000. I'm optimistic that the cycle is not over, and I mentioned that I wanted to share why we might see a longer cycle at the beginning of the video, at the intro of the video. This is very, very different than any other cycle. I've been through a full cycle in 2016 through 18, been through that, so I've seen it, and everything was playing out pretty much the same to it. And then everything changed. Like if it wasn't going to change, then we would see 100,000 Bitcoin by now. The reason why I think it's going to be different is because everything has been based off of the halving cycle, whereas like the block rewards for confirming a transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain get cut in half every, I'm not even going to say it because I can't remember the exact amount of days. But block rewards get cut in half. So miners have their mining equipment, they have their expenses that they spend on energy consumption, and then they calculate out what's profitable still on Bitcoin per the Bitcoin price, right? They might cash out and just say like, okay, it's getting close to the halving cycle, I'm going to cash out, like, because it's not going to be worth it once the price halves. Now, you have adoption and institutional investment. So, and I'm not saying that I know 100% that this is going to be different, but now we have a market. This is an actual market now. You have banks and institutions investing everywhere. You have a futures ETF. In the future, we will have a Bitcoin ETF. It's just you can't right now. You just can't. There's not the liquidity to send the price skyrocketing. It has to be in a bear market or at the end of a bear market. Or maybe that's like a sign, to end of the bull market. So maybe it does happen soon. Anyways, because of that didn't exist before. That did not exist. It was all based on miners, retail, maybe a little bit of institutional investment and like adoption, but not like we're seeing now. It is also, trying to take the place of gold as a digital reserve or digital store of assets, digital store of value. Sorry, can't talk. So, the price is going to have to get somewhat stable at some point in time. But the main reason is that you now have more of the world, like retail side of it, institutional side of it, and adoption side of it, that's interested in it and accepting it. So you have a market, and there's going to be a bunch more money flow transactions that exist outside of just mining it, and receiving block rewards. Because the question is, what happens when all the Bitcoin is mined? Well, it'll never all be mined, right? It'll get to like 20,999,997, and then it'll take like 100 years to mine one Bitcoin. And But so what happens then is like the miners confirm the transactions in the mempool, and that's how they make money mining it. So the thought is that by that time, which is like the last Bitcoin will be mined like 100 or 150 years from now, by that time, there'll be enough transactions for miners to secure the network that way by confirming transactions and receiving block rewards that way. Anyways, that's my thought on that. So if we do see an elongated cycle, or like that's the cycle, and we don't see like a bear market that crashes from 20,000 to 3,000. Bear market might look a little different then. It might not see the same retraction in price, but this is just me thinking aloud again, just because I, constantly, watch the market all the time, every day, 7 days a week, and constantly paying attention to it. And that's just the thoughts that have like come to my mind on that. So anyways, hope you liked today's video. Remember, Superfarm, if you see a huge shoot up in price, I would not hold it, because you could, it's almost, nothing's a guarantee, but it's almost a guarantee that you could sell and buy back in lower. They do have a lot of things coming out. I could be wrong, but I think the chances of me being wrong on that, if we see that scenario, are very, very small. Anyways, Bitcoin, you know what we got to do. Got a lot of work to do. I'd like to see 53,300 reclaimed first. A lot of work to do. I don't think it's over. That's just like a personal feeling. I wouldn't call it a gut feeling, but it just doesn't seem like it is. But there are indicators that have, caused me to be cautious. Gaming will continue to be big and is not bear proof, as we've seen. It is not bear proof. So, if we're bullish, again, I'm looking at gaming and metaverse. I'm scrolling through, I like Immutable X because that's a layer 2 ZK rollup that a lot of gaming and NFTs and metaverse projects are going to be building on. And they currently are. Look at the top quality like games like Illuvium, which is coming out in January, I believe, is on Immutable X. Look how great that looks so far. It hasn't come out yet, but look how great that looks. Anyways, so if everything in this video you liked, or if there's something out of this video you liked, please do hit the like button. Please do hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it greatly. Other than that, I will see you next time. Happy trading. Be safe. Higher risk management right now. Have a good day. Bye.